On Christmas Eve, 1800, Paris buzzed with nervous energy, still reeling from years of revolution. Napoleon Bonaparte, first consul, was the city's anchor of order. That night, he set out for the Paris Opera, leaving ahead of Josephine. In this timeline, his carriage moves at a measured pace, right into the path of a royalist plot. A hidden barrel packed with gunpowder and shrapnel explodes as Napoleon passes, obliterating his carriage in a direct, devastating hit. The first consul is killed instantly, along with his entourage and bystanders. The city is thrown into chaos. News spreads like wildfire. Panic and confusion grip Paris. Was it an accident or an attack? Joseph Fouché, Minister of Police, scrambles to contain the chaos, but the sense of security Napoleon built is shattered. The opera is cancelled, crowds pour into the streets, and fear takes hold. The explosion is more than an assassination. It's an attack on the fragile stability of the Republic. With no clear culprit, the government is paralyzed by indecision and infighting. The promise of a new century dies with Bonaparte, leaving France leaderless and on the brink. Napoleon's assassination plunges France into political confusion. The consulate, built around his authority, is suddenly headless. The constitution that empowered him is now meaningless. The other consuls, Cambacérès and Lebrun, lack real power. Joseph Fouché moves quickly, deploying troops and launching investigations, but he's also maneuvering for his own advantage. The legislative bodies, filled with Napoleon's appointees, are paralyzed and divided. Debates rage: elect a new first consul, or is the constitution void? Ambitious generals and politicians circle, sensing opportunity. The unity Napoleon imposed fractures instantly, threatening civil strife. For ordinary citizens, hopes for peace and prosperity vanish. Bread prices spike, and the threat of foreign invasion looms. The assassination is not just a political crisis, it's a national trauma, reigniting fears of instability. France is left desperate for a leader to guarantee its future. With Napoleon gone, succession becomes a brutal scramble. Cambacérès and Lebrun lack the charisma and military support to lead. Ambitious generals, Lannes, Murat, Masséna, see their chance, but General Moreau, respected and popular, is the most likely contender. Moreau's Republican reputation appeals to many, but he lacks Napoleon's political skill. Rival generals could plunge France into military civil war. Talleyrand, master diplomat, works behind the scenes, possibly supporting a general he can control or even a constitutional monarchy. The struggle for power is messy and violent, with generals carving out fiefdoms and the army fracturing. France is left vulnerable, its unity shattered. The transition is not smooth, but a chaotic battle for control of the nation's destiny. News of Napoleon's death is met with jubilation in London. The British see their greatest threat eliminated. Royalists, emboldened, call for the Bourbon monarchy's restoration, with Louis XVIII issuing proclamations from exile. Royalist agents and leaders like Cadoudal attempt uprisings, but most French citizens fear losing their revolutionary gains. The British exploit the chaos, funding royalists to fuel civil war and keep France weak. Diplomats strengthen the anti-French coalition. Austria and Russia prepare new offensives. The royalist dream of swift restoration is fantasy. Resistance is fierce, even among those weary of revolution. Britain's strategy: keep France divided and ensure no strong rival emerges. The continent braces for renewed conflict as France tears itself apart. Napoleon's death throws the revolution's legacy into turmoil. The balance between revolutionary ideals and order collapses. Liberty, equality, fraternity faces its greatest test. Royalists seek to restore aristocratic privilege, while generals might create a new military elite. Meritocracy in the army could survive, but civil society risks reverting to old hierarchies. The concordat with the Pope collapses, deepening religious divisions, either renewed persecution or a return to church dominance. national unity unravels. Loyalties revert to regions and factions. The fragile French identity Napoleon forged is exposed, requiring a strong leader to hold it together. The revolution's unresolved questions return, threatening to plunge France back into chaos. Napoleon's death halts the Napoleonic Wars before they begin. France, leaderless and divided, cannot resist the Second Coalition. Austria and Russia reclaim lost territories. Instead of French victories, France faces defeat and a punitive peace, losing its revolutionary conquests. The era of French dominance ends before it starts. No Austerlitz, no Jena, no Russian campaign. Europe is spared years of total war and millions of deaths. Napoleon's military innovations stall. European armies remain traditional for longer. Yet revolutionary ideas still threaten the old order, and new conflicts are likely as monarchies seek to contain France. The continent avoids Napoleon's wars, but not the clash between revolution and reaction. Without Napoleon, the Holy Roman Empire survives, delaying German unification. The patchwork of German states remains, and nationalism lacks its catalyst. Old aristocracies and clerical elites retain power. Reforms are slow and piecemeal. The transition to modern nation-states is delayed, with entrenched interests resisting change. Austria remains dominant in Central Europe, and Russia's influence grows unchecked. Britain, content with a divided continent, maintains naval and commercial supremacy. The 19th century resembles the 18th dynasties, empires, and lingering feudalism. Europe's transformation is stalled, its old order lingering far longer. Napoleon's death halts the Napoleonic Code, leaving France's legal system fragmented. The revolutionary ideal of legal equality remains unfulfilled. Property rights and civil liberties are insecure. The code's influence across Europe vanishes. Feudal laws and privileges persist. Social mobility and economic growth are stifled by archaic legal systems. Reformers lack a model for liberal constitutional change. The struggle for rights is harder. The code's secular, rational law is never established, and religious courts retain power. Women's rights remain limited, and the legal emancipation of minorities stalls. The very concept of citizenship and rights is shaped by old traditions, not modern law. If Napoleon died in 1800, the world of today would be unrecognizable. The political map of Europe would be radically different. No unified Germany or Italy, and empires might linger or fall differently. The United States might never acquire Louisiana, remaining a smaller nation hemmed in by European powers. The Romantic movement, the metric system, and even military theory would develop along new lines. The absence of Napoleon's wars and reforms leaves the world in a state of arrested development, caught between old and new. Revolutionary forces run wild, conservative powers are emboldened, and chaos reigns. The Napoleonic era's legacy, total war, law codes, nationalism, radical change, never materializes. One blast on Christmas Eve kills not just a leader, but the future as we know it, setting history on a wildly different path.